Do you know if Delegate Fisher is going to be on this line?
I don't know that for a fact. I can send him a text real quick.
Yeah, he has a job. He's supposed to introduce.
Delegate Charles, you're good to go.
Thanks, Shane. I appreciate you. Thanks, sir. Good morning, everyone. For the record, this is Delegate Nick Charles, Chairman of the Prince George's County House Delegation. The time is now 9:02, and today is February 18th, 2022, and I am going to call the meeting to order. We don't have much going on today in terms of bills, but we do have an amazing lineup of speakers to address a couple of things today. We have Dr. Bro from Bowie State. We also have the bills, but Congressman Tasha, could you go on mute? We also have Congressman Anthony Brown, and we have students from the Prince George's County Community College for today's Student Advocacy Day. So no bills. We're going to get some subcommittee reports, but that's going to be the lineup. So I don't see us being here too long today. So I just wanted to get that on to everyone so you understand the flow of today's meeting. So before we get started, I'm going to ask that Delegate Turner lead us in prayer. Delegate Turner.
Good morning, Delegate and our chair. Can we bow our heads in prayer? Good morning, God. We gather this morning to say thank you. We thank you for the opportunity to serve you, and thank you for the clarity of thoughts to make decisions that need to be made for the citizens of Prince George's County. As we continue this meeting and the remainder of the legislative session, we ask that you allow us to see the prosperities of others and to serve with justice in mind. We thank you for your love and your covering. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Delegate Turner. And now I'm going to call on a good friend of all of ours. He's no stranger to the Maryland General Assembly. He once represented District 25, and then he went on to become the Lieutenant Governor, then came back and is now our Congressman. And so, Congressman Brown, we welcome you. The floor is now yours, sir.
Thank you, Chairman Charles, and congratulations to you now leading your colleagues in the Prince George's County Delegation. I want to thank the entire delegation. Thank you for the work that you're doing, and I'm watching from a distance. You're certainly off to a fast start this legislative session, and thank you for the invitation this morning. I'd like to discuss at your request sort of progress that we're making on Capitol Hill on behalf of Maryland and Prince George's County. Since the beginning of this Congress, which was last year, Congress and the Biden administration, we've focused on addressing the needs of working families, small businesses, and really ensuring that no community is left behind, putting a premium on equity in everything that we do. Less than a year ago, we passed the American Rescue Plan, which provided much needed assistance and support around the country to fight COVID-19 and help families make ends meet. A few specifics: we set aside $350 billion for state and local government. That was a priority for me because we had not provided that kind of assistance to state and local government during the pandemic. We did that so that you can continue serving residents It included $5.8 billion for Maryland, which has contributed to the surplus that you have, that we have, and I hope that you use effectively. And also $178 million for Prince George's County. We provided $130 billion to help safely reopen our schools. That's nationwide. $2 billion went to Maryland K through 12 schools, and nearly $267 million for our schools in Prince George's County. And of course, we provided families an extra $300 a month with the expanded per child, with the expanded child tax credit, and really helping lift children out of poverty. And we cut child poverty in half. After 1 year, 200 million Americans are now fully vaccinated, 6.4 million jobs created, a record for a first year president. And we've got kids back in the classroom. And I really am proud of, and I always like to point out that Prince George's County was one of the few counties in the nation that met President Biden's 70% vaccination rate by the original July 4th target date. But we didn't stop there. Congress passed the landmark bipartisan infrastructure law that was in the fall of last year to rebuild and reimagine our nation's aging roads, transit, bridges, and a lot more. We made the largest federal investment in public transit, passenger rail, bridges and highways, construction projects, clean drinking water, the largest in our nation's history. We expanded high-speed internet and affordability throughout our communities, and we invested in green energy and electric vehicle infrastructure. After more than 2 years of advocacy and hard work, we finally secured significant funding for WMATA's continued operations. And I want to take this opportunity to commend you and your efforts to commit Maryland to fulfilling its share of WMATA funding. We know that ridership is down. It's only recovered to 37% of pre-pandemic levels, but it was important to keep that system open and operating during the pandemic and ensure that it has future funding. So as ridership returns, it's a system that can serve the needs of the National Capital Region. And we created a first of its kind program to reconnect communities, particularly communities of color that were divided by barriers and poor infrastructure policy in the past. Right now on Capitol Hill, we're working to ensure that our government remains open. Unlike in Annapolis, where you can't leave session in April unless you pass a full year funding appropriation, we don't quite do it that way. And right now we're in the middle, not in the middle, but we're in certainly the first half already of the fiscal year that started in October. And we've yet to pass our full year funding, but I'm optimistic that we will get that done in March so that we can keep federal government open, keep federal workers and contractors on the job. And we're continuing to advocate for the federal funding of projects specific to Prince George's County. So we have the return of earmarks for the first time in a decade. We have an opportunity to bring millions of dollars to Prince George's County. Mr. Hoyer and I have worked with the county council and the county executive, and we've come up with projects that would improve our environment, better support students in our schools, improve local infrastructure, and invest in our youth with quality summer jobs. As you know, we've faced roadblocks and setbacks when it comes to the Build Back Better Act. Very disappointing. But we in the House, we're not backing down in our efforts to invest in the social needs of our communities. I'll continue to advocate to deliver universal pre-K for every 3 or 4 year old. I'm advocating to extend and expand the child tax credit to lower the cost of healthcare and prescription drugs. And I'm going to fight each day to make sure that Prince George's County gets the support they need. But our progress in our work to build back better has to happen at every level. You know that. While we advance policy in Congress, I'm confident that with the strong leadership of the Prince George's delegation, we're going to deliver on a vision for a better Maryland. And if we're really going to make progress on things like gun safety and public safety, criminal justice reform, transportation equity, healthcare, and more, Maryland has to do what it's always done, and that's lead. So I strongly support the General Assembly's efforts to legalize cannabis. This issue is a question of racial equity and of justice. As we continue this debate, and I had the opportunity to testify earlier this week before the House Judiciary Committee, I urge the General Assembly to plan for 2023 when cannabis is legalized. I think the new policy has to be equitable and fair throughout our communities here in Maryland. The economic benefits have to translate to communities of color and other underserved areas. And we have to quickly and judiciously expunge the records of marijuaners with cannabis possession offenses. This week, I was also invited to testify before the Senate Judicial Proceedings Committee on legislation that would ban ghost guns. Like many, this is a personal issue. No one, let alone a teenager, should be able to make a homemade firearm without a license or any meaningful gun control safeguards. So it's time for us to say enough and to take the steps needed to get these weapons off our streets and save lives. There's more work to be done to protect the rights of mail-owners, and I know you're working on it. Voting rights, I know there's some mail-in ballot stuff that you're working on. Civil rights, I think we really need to expand the authority, and I would hope that you all could do that with the Attorney General's office. And also when it comes to women's reproductive rights. And while I think in Maryland, those rights are secure and safe, you've got to be vigilant. And I think we also have to anticipate the inflow of people from other states where those rights are going to be restricted. And of course, there's more work to be done to tear down the barriers that hold too many Marylanders back. You're working on that. I have full faith that Prince George's County will continue to lead on these issues. And I look forward to our continued partnership as we build a better future for everyone, and we do it together. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much, Congressman Brown. Are there any questions? Looks as if we have no questions. You know, you did a wonderful job explaining everything, Congressman.
Well, thank you. And again, you all are doing fantastic work. I know you're working hard. Congratulations on the congressional maps, the legislative maps. In fact, I'll say for the record, I think you deserve a pay raise. So make sure that goes through so you guys are paid for the work that you're doing. So thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. I'll see you all around.
All right, now take care, Congressman.
All right.
Okay, we're going to move forward on the agenda. And as you guys heard yesterday in the Black Caucus meeting, CIAA is coming upon us. And we have the luxury of being the host from Prince George's County with Bowie State. And so we have the amazing president of this great institution, Dr. Bro. So I'm going to open the floor to Dr. Bro to give us some updates on what's going on with the money that we recently got awarded from the lawsuit, what's going on with COVID and what's going on with CIAA.
Thank you and good morning, and thank you, Chair Charles, and members of the Prince George's County Delegation for the time to share an update on Bowie State University, including the upcoming CIAA. And that was a wonderful, wonderful introduction, Chair Charles. I really appreciate that, and I'll say more about that in just a moment. I do want to first thank also and acknowledge Congressman Brown and Congressman Hoyer for their support. It's been remarkable to have the funds of the CARES funds at the federal level and the HERF funds that have helped us to maintain safety during this pandemic. And as I begin my remarks, I also want to thank you for your support throughout the year, particularly in the last few weeks when our campus experienced a threat to the campus. And thank you for all of your outreach to the campus and your support during that very difficult time. I want to also acknowledge and thank our law enforcement officers who responded to the recent bomb threat against Bowie State University. We appreciate the leadership of the state police who worked alongside federal and local law enforcement agencies to respond and then investigate the incident. And then we are pressing on to deliver on our mission, knowing that our law enforcement officers take the health, safety, and emotional well-being of our campus to heart. And I thank each and every one of you who reached out to me and to the campus during that time. I'm so very glad that many of you were already on our campus not too long ago, back in October, to see firsthand what's happening at Bowie State University. I shared during that visit our continuing focus on our strategic plan and our top 3 priorities: academic excellence, student success, and the long-term viability of the institution. As a result of the outstanding work of our administration, our faculty, staff, and students, I'm so pleased to say that Bowie State University is realizing many many successful outcomes towards our goals. Enrollment is up. We opened the year with over 6,300 students enrolled. We opened the new Entrepreneurship Living Learning community that many of you visited, and that's home to our Entrepreneurship Academy, the Bowie Business Innovation Center, and a residence hall to meet the growing demand. Our applications are up by 71% since 2016, and the demand is high from prospective students. We've returned safely to in-person teaching and working during this, what is now termed as an endemic, but we are pressing on, and we continue to deliver the safety protocols and making sure that safety is first in our thinking. But while we saw a spike back in December in the spread of COVID-19 with the Omicron variant, I'm happy to report our positivity rates are back under 1%. And so we're moving forward through this spring semester. You mentioned the Ciaa Tournament. Let me just say a few words about that on behalf of Bowie State University and as chair of the board for the Ciaa. We are just thrilled to be able to host the Ciaa in Baltimore, and we're looking forward to having as many from Prince George's County come up in whatever way you can get there, take the train from Bowie State University or drive up, because Bowie State University is the host university. And this is the first time the Ciaa has been in Maryland since back in 1952. And so we want to make sure that we're welcoming everyone from across the country. If you've never been to a Ciaa event, what you should know is that this is more than just about basketball. It's truly an event that will encompass the entire region and the state. So I'm looking forward to seeing as many of you as possible. I invite you to come in for the many, many events that are posted up on the website, and you should have received additional information about the special events, and I hope to see you there to help welcome the country to Maryland and to welcome them and introduce them to this entire region, including Prince George's County. I'm supportive of, let me switch gears here, and I just want to say I'm very supportive of the governor's fiscal year 23 operating budget that includes the much needed salary adjustments for our employees who have been on the front lines delivering education throughout this pandemic. Bowie State University's impact will include support for a new law, social justice, and civic engagement center that is so needed when we look at the social injustice issues that our country continues to face. Again, we're appreciative of the salary adjustments that are included there, but I must say that I was hoping to have included the much needed support for a project needed here on the campus for our library project. We are in desperate need of continued improvements to our infrastructure. And so I am hopeful and I'm asking for greater support for our infrastructure. You mentioned the coalition dollars, and we're very pleased that in this next fiscal year, we will see $10.5 million coming to the university through SB1 and HB1. However, as we build out those new academic programs, and that's how those funds will be utilized, we have to remember that we need the infrastructure to support those new workforce aligned programs. With regard to the coalition dollars, we are looking to put those towards the development of new academic programs that draw on our strengths. We have many strengths, including in the teaching profession, where we started in delivering education to prepare teachers to go out into the community. We continue to stay focused on creating that pipeline, but with new models of education. We will continue to provide new innovative programs, including stackable credentials, certificates, and badges that are so much needed by the workforce. And we will continue to deliver new innovative programs that are four-year programs in cybersecurity, computer technology, data analytics. These are the areas that are in great need as we look at a rapidly changing environment. So those are some of the areas that we will be focused on with the new funds coming to us through the coalition dollars. We are looking to leverage those dollars against the private giving that we've seen as an increasing as well. But it takes all of that together to deliver education today and keep us at the forefront of where we need to be with learners today. So again, I want to thank you for your support of the budget for this year, but the work continues. We are racing to excellence with our new strategic plan. And in order for us to continue this race, we will need to continue to stay focused on the infrastructure of our university. And then finally, I want to acknowledge the work that goes on behalf of the development of our pipeline for educators. Most recently, one of our faculty members, Dr. Sean Coleman, was selected to serve as the chair of the Prince George's County Board of Education Task Force. We are also looking forward to continuing our partnership with County Executive Angela Alsobrooks and Dr. Monica Goldson, working to ensure the educational success and expanding our opportunities for Prince George's County students. And with regard to our nursing program, we are pleased with the work of our students and what they have provided on the front lines during this pandemic. And we continue to see great academic progress and excellence towards success beyond completion of the nursing degree. And so there are many, many opportunities we have realized during this time of change. And I want to thank you for your support, including the support we've received for a new building project. Those of you familiar with our campus know about the Martin Luther King Communications and Humanities Building. With your support in the capital improvement projects plan, we are continuing on with that project with the funding we have received. We hope to break ground for that project later this year. And that project is to replace a building that is sorely in need we need to raise that building in order to bring new facilities to support our communications and our humanities program. But it is also home to our award-winning ROTC program that won the MacArthur Award. It is just one of 274 ROTC programs across the nation, but our BSU Bulldog Battalion won the MacArthur Award, and we're very proud of our ROTC program. So these are just some of the highlights of what's happening. I invite you back to the campus to see firsthand for yourselves the excitement, the energy that's back on the campus since we have phased back during the pandemic. There's great excitement here. And once again, I invite you up to Baltimore to help welcome in everyone from across the country as we open up the CIAA. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bro. Like I said, we truly appreciate you and all of the things that you're doing. And any way that we can be of any help to you with Bowie State, please do not hesitate to reach out to myself or anyone in the delegation. We are definitely here to be able to offer support. Are there any questions from anyone in the delegation? Man, there's no questions today either for you either. Man, normally we got questions lined up for everybody. All right. So listen.
I see one hand up, Mr. Chair.
We
Delegate
got
Harrison, good morning.
Proud Bowie State grad there.
Yes.
Proud Bowie State, all the way back to way back when my dad was in the normal school. But so I thought I would break the ice. I just had one question over something that you said, Dr. Bro. You were talking about, I think, and just make sure that I heard clearly, I think you were talking about having about our students. Were you talking about going into the teaching profession, or were you talking about the children, the students being ready for college when you came in, when they got there?
I was talking about the teaching profession and our focus on creating a stronger pipeline, because what we've seen is a dramatic decrease in the number of teachers and teaching administrators. And we need to prepare and ensure we have a stronger pipeline, because I am concerned about the future of our schools if we don't have teachers going into the profession, and also administrators. And so we are very focused on our teacher preparation in our educational leadership program that prepares administrators to return and get their credentials to lead our educational institutions, the K through 12th grade educational institutions.
Have you seen a decline in the number of students majoring in the teaching profession since you've expanded the scope of offerings there at Bowie State?
We have seen an increase in our programs, but not to the level that it needs to be across our region and across the state. The teaching profession continues to struggle through enhancing and encouraging individuals to go into the profession. And that's something that I think together we need to all work on, is to raising the profile and the recognition of the teaching profession and the value that it brings to our communities. We need teachers who are well prepared, but here at Bowie State University, what we've done is to do quite a bit of research that demonstrates the models that work today. For example, Dr. Julius Davis does research on the Black male educator, and his research shows that unless a Black child male sees a role model in the classroom by 3rd grade, they are less likely to continue on to higher education. What does that mean then for our communities and the diversity that we need in education, but also just the pathway to success for our children? So what Bowie State University is taking research and putting it into practice. And so we've seen our numbers go up. We are partnering with Prince George's County Schools and with the county to ensure that we are addressing these issues. And so we're seeing somewhat of an increase, but what we need, once again, are the facilities to support the learning and our programs, the experiential learning facilities where we can have teachers who are practicing here on the campus those skills and learning how to put theory into practice. And so we've made some steps, but with greater support, we can definitely do more.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your question.
Thank you so much. We also have a question coming from Delegate Karen Toles.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Dr. Bro, for being here. I just wanted to first do one thing, point of personal privilege, I think, to all of us, and to thank Derek Coley for his great work that he has done and working with not just the delegation, but, you know, he worked well with, I have 2 of my former colleagues on here, on the council. He worked with us there and he's working with us here. He's just been fantastic. You know, I just got appointed and I reached out to him and asked and you know, said, hey, I want some minority students to get an opportunity to have the experience of working at the state legislature. And he, you know, sent names, and I know he's been working with all of my colleagues here to ensure that Bowie State University has, you know, some experience in this field. So I would just want to thank him publicly. And I know he's, you know, tied, you know, with you at the hip. And so I just wanted to publicly thank him for his work that he does with all of us here.
Thank you, Delegate Toles. I really appreciate that. And yes, he is just a tremendous, tremendous asset to our university. I know he's connected with the larger community and is a shining example of the excellence that we have here at Bowie State University, as well as the commitment and passion that we have for the work that we do. So thank you so much for those kind comments and recognition.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. And my second question is, or statement, however you want to put it, is that, you know, I would love to hear more ways in which I can help in the years to come as it relates to your social justice, I guess, institution that you want to build. And I think I remember saying this to you. You know, I work for the state's attorney as well. And, you know, and I'm a graduate of University of Baltimore School of Law. And our 2 state universities our 2 law schools in the state of Maryland, I'm not sure how much they reach back to, Prince George's County. We offer at the university or at my law school several clinics that will help individuals. They have an innocence project that help those who've been wrongly convicted get their sentences vacated or expunged altogether. And I'm just not sure how much, I am sure I don't think they do that much at all to work back within the Prince George's County community. And I would love to see how the university can connect with Bowie State. I know that they get students through their Fannie Angelo's law program from historically Black colleges and universities. However, just the clinics and working with the curriculum and having that sort of tight-knit relationship with the university as it relates to social justice issues. So I'm not sure if you'll be interested in kind of strengthening that partnership, or if there's work that has been done and I don't know about, but I know when I was there at the law school, all the work was being done with our friends in Baltimore City, but not with Prince George's. So if you could just, I know that was a mouthful, but I've been very
I really appreciate your comments and would like to speak with you further. And I mentioned in my remarks the budget includes for next fiscal year the funds to set up our new center. That was as a result of the exploration that we did with the law schools in the state of Maryland to enhance the pipeline and the connections, as you're suggesting, long before students are thinking about law school. We need to get up front and talk to them about the opportunities and the career coming out of law school, and connect what's happening at the law schools early on in the educational experience for our students here at Bowie State University. And so as part of those discussions, we talked about having programs here on the campus that connect to the law schools, having our students go to the law schools and experience firsthand what it is, what it looks like to be in law school. And so this center would provide that umbrella to pull together those concepts, and also pull together under that umbrella the work that we're already doing with the Alliance for the Social Justice Alliance that we signed on to with the University of Maryland College Park. In the aftermath of the death of our student, Lieutenant Richard Collins III, Dr. Pines and I have signed onto an agreement to create the Alliance for Social Justice. And that brings a number of programs, including an annual symposium to address hate and violence and to ensure that we stay focused on those issues of social justice issues in our country. And so there's much more that we can be doing. And I do need to give a shout out to State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy, who is just been a wonderful leader in bringing new partnerships that connect our Department of Criminal Justice to work on critical issues facing our state. And so I'd be glad to share more about that and the work that we're doing with State's Attorney Braveboy's office.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate that. I look forward to working with you. And I can just add that I'm not sure if the program is still there, but Central High School in District 25, I think has like a pre-law type program for high school students as well. So we have a lot of great programs and great work that we're doing in Prince George's. So with all of that, I definitely look forward to connecting all of those pieces and working very closely with you.
Thank you. I'll welcome that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Delegate Tolles. Now we have Delegate Pina Melnick.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and good morning. I just wanted to thank you personally for the work that you're doing with the Maryland Lynching Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which was established by House Bill 307 that I introduced in 2019, and the delegation, the members here supported. And as you know, it's the first of its kind in the entire nation. It's a commission that will research cases of racially motivated lynching, and they've been holding public meetings and regional hearings. Most recently, The Atlantic magazine wrote an article on it. So I want to thank you for your commitment and your work on that. We're really grateful. And I know Derek Cooley has been amazing in making sure that, you know, the commission is staffed with the Attorney General's office. So thank you so much for that work.
Of course, thank you. We need to stay focused on that and remind everyone across our state as well as across the country the history. And under that umbrella of the new center, this is the work that we will continue to stay focused on, and appreciate your comments and your leadership.
Thank you.
Right. Seeing no more. Oh, there we go. One more. Delegate Turner.
Yes, just and good morning. Yeah, you know I love you, Dr. Bro. I mean, you got my grandbaby out of the college in cybersecurity, and she is doing well. I want you for Jasmine.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear.
Honey, I just love it. But you know what? I was just looking at all the young people and your staff that's on there. Can you just give a shout out on some of these people, good people that got up this early to be with our Prince George's delegation? We don't want to leave them out as well. And we welcome them for coming to our committee today. And I see them all in blue here. Give them a little shout out. Tell them thank you from us.
Thank you so very much. And I hope I don't leave anybody out. You mentioned Derek Coley. Also on the line is Karen Johnson Shaheed. She's my Chief of Staff and Head of Government Relations. She is doing an amazing job on addressing diversity, equity, and inclusion on behalf of Bowie State University. And I'm going to go through the screen because we probably have some others who are here with us today. So let me just shout out to everyone and just know my team, I appreciate you so much and everything that you're doing. But Delegate Turner, I hope I don't get into trouble because, you know, my Bulldogs, they show up. And so I know there might be others who are here. And I, again, want to express my appreciation for this amazing team. Bowie is very, very special. And my team is so passionate and committed to the welfare of our students and the success of this institution. And I know firsthand that I could not do what I'm doing alone. It's this team that stands behind me, makes me look really good because of all the work they're doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
No problem, Delegate Turner. Yeah, the students that you're seeing here, they're from Prince George's Community College, and they're here for the Student Advocacy Day. So they're going to have some good questions for us, you know, as we move forward through the agenda. We're just going to, since Dr. Bro is now done, we're going to move forward to the subcommittee reports. But I see Dorothy. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for asking. Great to be here.
All right.
Thank you, Chair Charles. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to be with you today, and I wish you all the best. And thank you for what you do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bro. You're doing an amazing job, and good luck for CIAAs. Go Bulldogs. All right, we're going to shift into now going into our subcommittee reports. And then after our subcommittee reports, then we will open up the floor for a few questions from the students from Prince George's Community College. You know, they showed up and they wanted to be a part of the process. They've come virtually. Typically, as you all know, a lot of folks will be swarming the halls of Annapolis and we'll be able to see everybody, but due to COVID and everything else, the students have chosen to do this. And I thought it was a great opportunity since we didn't have any bills on the agenda for today, but to have them right here join us in our delegation meeting. And so let's go to the committee reports, and then after committee reports, we'll open it up to the community college. And I'll start off with county affairs.
Okay, thank you very much. The Vice Chair, County Affairs. My chair, she had an emergency, and I checked on her yesterday and she's doing fine. with her emergency. We had in our county affairs, we had one bill in county affairs for HB 874 on the Sunday deer hunting, and we did not get a chance to vote that bill out of our committee because we needed a quorum and we did not have it. So the meeting for that one bill that we have will be next Wednesday at 9 a.m. And please, all committee that's on that committee, please try to be there so we can just do this last bill and vote this out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate Turner. There's one last thing for county affairs that we got a letter of support that we want to get through, and there's some amendments that we're going to offer up on a bill that is an ENT that's offered by Delegate Shetty, House Bill 184, and it's on farm composting facilities. And Prince George's County is the leader in composting right now, and there's some issues and impacts for that particular bill that may impact Prince George's County. So there's a letter of support that's going to be going out with amendments to be offered. So we're going to have these amendments drafted up so that we can vote on supporting these amendments, and then we'll send it off with a letter of support with our amendments from our entire delegation. So come next Friday, we'll have all of the amendments drafted, and then we'll discuss them and we'll vote on them. And hopefully we can send over a unified letter of support in terms of composting. So that's just an FYI for everybody since it's dealing with county affairs.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on to by county. Delegate Valderrama.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Delegate Harrison, question?
I'm sorry, I just needed that bill number once again, that's it.
It's HB 184.
184, okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Per our last meeting, or maybe 2 weeks prior, Bi-County has been finished with our docket for the last 2 weeks. So we have not been meeting as we have covered our entire agenda. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Delegate Lehman, Law Enforcement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can everyone hear me?
We can.
Yes, thank you. I'm in transit heading back home from Annapolis right now. The Law Enforcement Subcommittee did not meet this week. We did not have any legislation to consider. We do, however, still have one outstanding bill. It is Delegate Toll's tobacco bill. She has kept me informed about her progress on the legislation. It was not ready for consideration this week. I know she will keep me informed about whether it's ready to go next week. In the meantime, members of the Law Enforcement Subcommittee had expressed interest in a briefing on the increase in crime in our county, especially carjackings. And Mr. Chair, if you could please just say a few words about that, because I bounced that idea off you and you said that's already on your radar. And I think that's of great interest to our colleagues at this time. So I thank you for that.
Yes, yeah, thank you, Delegate Lehman. So as everyone has seen today that's watching from YouTube or on Facebook Live, each Friday we have different people come before us to discuss different issues, and these are all our community partners. Within the next couple of weeks, we'll have the Chief of Police and the State's Attorney both bringing everything in front of us to talk about crime and the issues pertaining to Prince George's County. So it's definitely on the schedule. Tasha, can you confirm the exact date for everyone while we're live?
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. What's the date?
The date for
the State's Attorney and the Chief of Police when they're coming in front of the delegation?
Yes, 1 second.
Is it next week?
Yes, it is the 25th.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Delegate Fisher?
Mr. Chair. Good morning. Can you hear me?
It's coming in a little low, but we can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Is that better? Okay. I hope you can hear me. Mr. Chair, I just had a request for our chief of police and for our state's attorney, if they could send us some data before they come to the meeting about how many, especially with the carjackings, what region, what demographic, what's been happening in our prosecution in the last 2 years with court being virtual. I think it's one thing that I have found serving here the last 3 years, it's hard, is that people come in and we have questions, but then it's, I'll get back to you with the data. And so we don't have a chance to look at the data before they actually come so we can have a more fruitful conversation. So I think those are, I can talk to you offline more specifically, but just off the top of my head, that'd be great information for us to have before they actually come to speak to the delegation.
All right, I will reach out to the state's attorney and utilize our liaison that we have in our delegation also with Delegate Toles to make sure that we get all the information possible. And I'll also reach out to the chief as well. Delegate Harrison?
Yes, and along that same lines, can we also make sure that we have information on the number of convictions, whether those individuals are being tried and convicted, or whether they are being tried and released?
Yes, ma'am. We will put the request in to get all of that information.
Mr. Chairman, that is all from the Law Enforcement Subcommittee. And just to assure all of you, I am driving, but it is a hands-free device. My phone is up on my dashboard, so I am being safe if anyone is concerned. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. All right, and the final committee report coming from Education, Delegate Proctor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Education Committee had no legislation last week, February 16th, but we will meet this Wednesday on the 23rd to discuss 50322 and 506. 50522, we have received information that it will be withdrawn. So on Tuesday, we will discuss the two bills I just mentioned. And unless there are others that have come in late, that will be the only two we have left. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Delegate Proctor. I really appreciate everyone for all of the hard work and all of the efforts that the delegation is doing. Now we're going to shift gears and we will open it up to Prince George's Community College, to the students. Everybody give these kids a round of applause for taking the time to be with us this morning.
Go PG.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, and to the delegation. We are just so delighted to be able to be with you this morning, and thank you for this time that you have set forth for our students to be able to share with you. Because one of the things that I hope we all understand is how important their voice is. Just like any one of us, we don't want anyone to presume that they know what we think, what we believe, or what we need. So the opportunity for them to express in their own words and in their own way how important your work is to their academic success is absolutely critical. And so we commend you for taking the time to hear them in their own voices and in their own ways. So what we are going to do is to have our students introduce themselves to you. And after that, they have 5 or 6 questions that they would like to ask of you. And we hope that you will feel free to respond in the midst of what they're going to share. So I'm going to ask Ms. Paulette Smith, who is their leader in their group, to come forward at this time with our students.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. Good morning, everyone. Our students are very excited. So at this time, we'll start, we'll kick it off with an introduction, Keisha, followed by Tyree, and so on and so forth. So take it away, introduce yourself in 1 minute.
All right, hello, my name is Keisha Barrett. I am a proud student of PGCC Community College. And I thank you very much for inviting us here today, inviting me here today. I'm a mother of 3. I'm a biology student. I'm pursuing my kinesiology degree, and I'm just happy to be here. Thank you.
And your legislative district, Keisha?
I'm sorry, my legislative district is 47A.
Well, welcome, Keisha.
Thank you.
And I was once upon a time a biology major until I switched back to business.
Yeah, I went from business to biology because I'm a massage therapist, and I decided to pursue kinesiology because I love it. I want to work with sports teams.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for being here with us. Did you have
Thank you so much.
Did you have one of the 5 questions that you were going to offer up?
I haven't. I'm sorry. I've actually been working 2 jobs right now and going to school, so I'm not prepared today. I apologize for that. So,
Delegate Charles, they will all do introduction, and then there are 5 students with designated questions.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Paulette.
Sure. So Tyree, take it away.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I am a registered voter of District 25, and it is nice to see that we have Delegate Charles here running this meeting, and shout out to all of my other delegates, Delegate Toll and Delegate Barnes. It is very awesome even to be in the midst of all of you, and I am kind of just blown away at this moment, but I am a visual artist and I am a continuing education student at Prince George's Community College. I decided to go back to pursue a digital media certificate, and it's a learning curve, but I'm excited to be back in school after a few years of not being in school and just being a working adult. So I am excited for the next chapter and excited to hear more about everyone's questions and what we would love to know more from you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyree, and welcome.
Marquez, followed by Sade, Naya, then Yasmin, then Elise, and then Paulson, and then Ava.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry, good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Marquez Carr, and I am a resident of District 24. Shout out to my delegates, Delegate Harrison, Delegate Howell, and Delegate Lewis. I am a student here. My major is business administration, and I'm also pursuing an accounting certificate. I'm a part of a group here called Diverse Male Student Initiatives, which helps males pursue leadership roles in any capacity. I'm also a part of SGA, and I'm also a part of Student Pathways, and I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you.
Thank you, Marquez. We appreciate you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sade Davis. I am the Student Governance Association Chief of Staff. I'm also a lead student ambassador of the Women of Wisdom program here at PGCC, and I'm a full-time health science major and a proud resident of District 27A. I've seen that Delegate Proctor, she just left, but still shout out to our district and thank her for being an amazing delegate. And thank you all for having us here today, and I'm very excited to be here.
Thank you so much, Sade.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nia Dick. I live in the district of 23B. I am a dual enrollment student here at Prince George's Community College. I am a senior in high school and will look forward to transferring to Coppin State in the fall. I serve as the SGA treasurer, and I'm very glad to be here.
Thank you, Naya. We appreciate you for being here with us.
Hello, my name is Yasmin Early. I'm a registered voter of District 26. I am, like Naya, I am also a dual enrolled student with a general study, and I'm majoring in general studies with a concentration in health sciences. And I am the president of PGCC Student Governance Association. The delegates for my district that are in attendance today are Delegate Turner and Delegate Valderrama. Thank you all for having us here. So hello.
Welcome you. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning to all of my delegates. My name is Elise Lancaster. I am an early childhood education major here at the illustrious Prince George's Community College. I reside in the wonderful district of 24B. I look forward to getting to know you all and further meet you all. Thank you for having us. I look forward to getting to know you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elise.
My name is Dorothy Wachi. I'm currently a resident of district number 21, and I'm enrolled in PGCC as a part-time student. I'm pursuing nursing as a career. I am a mother of 5. 2 of my children are in college. One of them had just finished her master's, and I'm pursuing my nursing degree. It's very humbling to be part of the advocacy committee, and I'm hoping that our grievances will be met. I'm shouting out to one of my delegates, Delegate Jocelyn A. Pina, for showing up today. That's caring. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much, Dorothy.
My name is Paulson Obeni Jr. I am a current first-year electrical engineering student at Prince George's Community College. I reside in Legislative District 24, and I want to give a shout out to my delegates, Ms. Harrison, Delegate Howell, and Delegate Lewis.
Thank you so much, Paulson.
And last but not least, Ava Richardson.
I think, Ava, if you're talking, you're still on mute.
I'm sorry. Good morning. My name is Ava Richardson, and I am a paralegal student at the PGCC. And I have 11 children, 8 children, 11 grands. And I'm also a senior citizen that has the tuition waiver. And I'm glad to be here. I'm also from District 19, Montgomery County. And it is a pleasure, to have you all here. Thank you.
Thank you, Ava. We appreciate you for taking the time to be here. Thank you to all of the students. And it's good that I see you all have put out your districts. I know a lot of our delegates are very proud to have you here. We're proud to all represent you all as well. So I'll give the floor back to you guys.
Thank you. So our first question is from Yasmin Early, the SGA president.
Hello again. So this question is going to be directed towards Delegate Turner. How do you all determine what bills you want to support?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Okay, a lot of the bills that we put in come from our constituents. They send us a text, or they can't come see us that much, but they do write us letters. All the things that we need to have done in our District 26, we have a unique district. As you know, we have everything there that we wanted to have, but a lot of things under education, crime, and they'll send us a message and say, could you please put this, try to put this bill in? So what they do is that they send us something like their vision about the bill. And what we do, we send the bill to drafting, and drafting put in the right words, and then we do our research, and this is how we do a lot of things on education, on crimes, on the schools, everything that's going on at MGM and National Harbor, and any issues that need to be, we will take care of it. All you have to do is send us a message. And with the last thing I would like to say, I give out a lot of scholarships. While you're still in college, please call my office and register. And so we can get you signed up and send an application for scholarships.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Right, next question.
Good morning again. The next question is, what advice would you all give to a college student interested in a career in politics? And this question is open to the floor.
Anybody want to take
that question?
I'll take a stab at it, Mr. Chair. Congratulations on you attending school. School is very, very important part of it. You've already begun your political interest in being a part of this discussion. You are also, I think, part of the Student Government Association, which is very important as well. To increase your interest in politics, what I would suggest is that you decide what types of topics are important to you and learn and study on those particular topics. I'll give you an example. My career started out in engineering, land use, et cetera. And then I became very, very interested in housing issues. And currently I'm chair of housing and real property in the General Assembly because of the interests that I developed over the years. So that's what I would suggest to you. Develop an interest and gather as much information about that particular interest as you can and study what takes place. Look at the bills that we put in the General Assembly on that particular topic. And then you become the subject matter expert in that particular issue. And you will rise to the top very quickly, young man. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate Holmes.
Thank you for your response.
Oh.
I was just saying, thank you for your response.
Right. Next question.
Hello, it's Tari once more. And just to follow up even on the previous question that was asked, the journey of advocacy and being a part of politics, it does increase. I know in the beginning, when you find a cause that you're passionate about, you begin to tell your story, and then others will hear it and will put you on a platform to speak. As when I would advocate for disability rights, just sharing my story, it brought me to the Rayburn building, and also to be able to speak at the White House, at the Rose Garden for the Americans with Disability Act. So as you continue on this journey, you eventually would, as we have Delegate Holmes to explain, it will increase and you will go far. But to segue into the question I have, many of us are products of Prince George's County public school system, and we are following the House Bill 1090, Prince George's County Board of Education membership alteration, PG 506-22. My question is, what do you think will be the outcome of this bill and why?
So we had, for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of different movements going on with this bill in particular. Our county executive, she created a work group, which came back with recommendations. We also had our own delegate, Pina Melnick. She put a bill in for a work group as well. And then we've also had kind of a sub work group that is looking at taking the recommendations from the county executive the recommendations from meetings that she's pulled together, and she's been one heck of an advocate and bringing everyone together from different walks of life within the education spectrum. And so there's different components to this. And once we have everything, we'll be offering up amendments to Delegate Julian Ivey's bill. And we have to make sure we get everybody on board to agree to which effort we're going to move forward in. And then after that, it'll have to go to the Senate. So we still got some work to do on the bill. It's going to take some time, but with this delegation, we can get a lot accomplished. We just got to, take some time and walk through all of the issues. And, it takes a long time for a lot of progress to be made on certain things, but we're definitely working on it. So keep an eye out. You'll see what'll be coming down the pipeline soon.
Mr. Chair?
Delegate Holmes.
Yes, Ms. Brown, since you have an interest in HB 1090, what do you want to see as a final result of HB 1090?
Ms. Brown, you're on mute.
Yes, I'm sorry, my computer locked, so I had to unlock. Yes, but it's very interesting to know that having something as fair as electing a board, which I was come to understand that I always thought the Board of Education, individuals who serve on the board was elected, and I never understood the process. So when I came to understand that you all are advocating to fight for, to have election for members for the board, I thought that was very interesting, and I wanted to understand your take on how that process would go and what is necessary if the old system is good enough, or how much willing would you be to fight for a new system in terms of the Board of Education and how everything operates.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Next question.
Well, actually, I wanted to follow up. Did Delegate Julian Ivey want to say anything? Because I know it's, he's a part of it in terms of it being his proposal.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for not only the question here today, but for paying attention to the legislation that we've been working on as a body. Not many people really do the work of, keeping an eye on their public officials. So thank you for that. This piece of legislation, I've proposed something similar to it each of the sessions that I've been here this term. It's something that we have been working on as a delegation for years. Our public schools, specifically how our Board of Education is governed. I've proposed different iterations of this bill. I think we all need to find consensus on what we can agree on so that we can move forward. And that's been the goal. And so, I'm comfortable to allow the chair to speak on the bill because he and I are on the same page here. So, when I heard the bill number, when I heard you bring it up, I knew what we were discussing, and I've got my eye on it. But this year is about finding consensus so that we can actually get something done, and that's what we're all focused on.
Thank you so much for your responses. Thank you.
Ava, you have the next question.
You're muted, Ava.
Thank you, Terry. A few of us, myself included, are tuition waiver recipients. Tuition waivers are unfunded mandates on the community colleges. The expense of these waivers can increase tuition for all students. The legislation of House Bill 1102, Senate Bill 799, community college tuition and residency waivers. Funding would continue tuition waivers for deserving students, but would reimburse the community colleges. Do you all believe this bill will be passed? If so, why?
Hello, Ava. This is Delegate Charles. I haven't kept up with HB 1102, but I definitely will pay a little bit more attention to it. But you know, one of the things I can speak to is that each one of us, we all get delegate scholarships. We get funding for scholarships, and we also, the senators get scholarships as well. So I know you're in what, District 18 or 13 again?
19.
19. So like reaching out to your delegates, your 3 delegates, your senator, they definitely offer up scholarships. We give out, like I said, annually scholarships to folks within our districts. And so, you know, that's the first part of it, making sure you have accessibility to pay for the tuition. But in terms of this particular bill, you bringing it up definitely allows us to look a little bit more in detail to make sure something like this can happen and look at the benefits of it to the students and to just the community as a whole.
Thank you for your response.
Okay, so my question would be, what would be your advice or the best way that you would say for students like me to get involved in the political process? And it's open to the floor.
Paulson, this is Delegate Harrison. You can start by getting involved in your local civic association. I'm not sure exactly where you live, but some of our communities do still have civic associations. I'm not speaking of the homeowners association, which really deals with those issues that have to do with your, if you're in a homeowners association, they have to do with your common areas, basically. Although sometimes homeowners associations do get involved in, you know, other civic issues. But if you have a civic association, I would suggest that you get involved in that, pay attention, get involved in your community so that you can understand what is happening in your community, and then you can begin to advocate for those things that you have a passion about. The other thing that you could do also is to, everything is online now. So you could participate in pretty much any meeting that you want, whether it's the county council, whether it's the school board, whether it's our delegation meetings, meetings of the General Assembly, so that you can find out those particular issues as well. And then you can become an advocate for that which is important to you. So those are a couple of good starting points there.
Thank you.
Good morning again, everyone. That wraps up our question from PGCC. I just wanted to, on behalf of my fellow student advocates, thank you for the opportunity to meet with you guys and your continued support for community college. You will receive follow-up emails and letters from us sharing our personal stories on how the impact of full funding community colleges and operating budget has on us, from the paid formula funding to support the streamline to the transfer process from community college to a four-year college, the capital renewal grant, and full funding for the Maryland Common Scholarship will have on us as students. Once again, thank you so much for all that you do.
Ciaa, thank you so much. And once again, to all of the students that came out today, I want to thank you all. I know it takes a lot of nerve sometimes to get out here, maybe some of your first times speaking in front of a public body, but you know, you guys handle it like some champions, some true Prince Georgians. So we thank you all for everything that you're doing to make yourselves better, because when you make yourself better, you make our county better. And so continue doing that, and we're here for you. Make sure you reach out to your delegates' offices so that you can qualify for the scholarships as well. Also reach out to your senator. You don't want to leave any money on the table, so reach out to everybody that you possibly can and apply for those scholarships. And I think that's about it for us. So Paulette, thank you so much for leading the charge with the students. And to the president, thank you so much. We truly appreciate you, ma'am, for all of the work that you're doing at Bowie State, Dr. Williams. Not Bowie State, I'm sorry, at Prince George's Community College, Dr. Williams. And whatever we can do to be of any help, just reach out to us. You know, we're only a phone call or email away. And now that I am going to call for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Sorry, Delegate Charles, we have a couple of questions.
Okay, didn't see that. All right, Delegate Harrison, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Thank you, and I am not going to belabor this. I know I've been a chatty Cathy this morning, but I just wanted to let you all know that there are some of us who are proud Prince George's Community College graduates, such as myself. And furthermore, I do serve on the Community College Foundation Board, and so I work quite closely with Dr. Williams and everyone in that. So I just want to, and I'm listed as one of the Fab 50. So when you go and do your registration down in that area, just look up on the wall up there. I'm listed. But I really wish all of you luck, and please make sure that you reach out to us, and we mean it sincerely. Each and every one of us. We want to be as helpful to you as we possibly can. We're here for you. So, you know, just call on us. Thanks, bye.
All right, Delegate Turner.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. For my person that's in the Yasmin, I think I pronounced your name, that you're from the 26th district. I am proud that you were in there, and I want you to know that you have 3 great delegates, 2 in the 26th district. Please reach out to us. Please come and make sure you go and apply for our scholarships. We want to make sure that you succeed in our district, and we are so proud of you. Thank you for coming. Yes.
Thank you so much for your support.
Mm-hmm.
Delegate Pina Melnick.
Thank you. I just want to say, Dorothy, thank you so much for your support. It's an honor to represent you. I want to just let you know that, you know, I believe strongly that you can be what you can see. So each of us has an office, and we have an intern program where you get paid by our office and the speaker's office, and you can work a couple days a week. You can do the research. You can even, in some instances, give testimony on the bills. You can get credit for some of your work. So it's every session. We're in session January to April for 90 straight days. It's an amazing way to learn the legislative process. But this life is also about relationships, and it's a way to expand your network and get to know us. So I hope that some of you apply for next year. Thank you, Chairman.
Delegate Pina Melnick, I'm glad you touched on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Delegate Pina Melnick, like I said, I'm glad you touched on that. But definitely, we all offer. I have 3 interns in my office this year. And so definitely reach out to all of your delegates and see if you can apply to be an intern in any of our offices. So just following up on what Delegate Pina Melnick stated.
Thank you. I have 4, and my office is like the United Nations. I love diversity. It's really important.
Yeah. And Delegate Valentino Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And again, thank you. I hear and feel the energy for you wanting to be advocates and a voice. And I just wanted to throw out that I will send Ms. McIntosh and Dr. Williams. There's a bill going through the General Assembly, which would set up an advisory council in the State Board of Education on access to mental health care services on campuses of higher education community colleges. And that's something that a lot of students want to come down and talk about. And they want to share why they want their campus to have robust access to those services. So there's an actual live piece of legislation we'll send out if you want to get involved in that particular cause. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more questions?
If I could just add, thank you for sharing the information about the internships opportunities. I will send a follow-up email, because at the college we have a career development and internship office, and there's an online service where we upload internship opportunities where students can explore. So we certainly would like to include these different internship opportunities on that dashboard so that other students can be made aware of it. So thank you for sharing this wonderful resource for our students.
Problem. Thank you so much, Ms. McIntosh. All right, I'm looking for someone to call for a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion?
To adjourn.
Second.
Second. All right. Thank you all so much for everything that you.
Thank you all.
All right. Meeting is adjourned.
Have a blessed evening.
Thank you.